dream numbs my mind. Turn on the lights, I'm still blind. Speed up, slow down, wheels keep on spinning. I play the game, I'm not winning. I've been east, I've been west, I've been put to the test. I've been high, I've been low, I don't know where to go. I've been lost, I've been found, I've been spinning around. Here's what's left of me now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
And I'm Alora.
We're very happy that you guys are here today.
Yes,
and today's going to be a little interesting. But before we start, I want to thank everybody who has reached out with my aunt who was sick. I want to thank everybody for wishing her well. She had a heart attack. And so my husband and I were going back and forth to St. Louis to help her out. And now she is back with family at home. And she is ornery and spunky and 80 years old and ready to, just continue with life and kicking doors down and doing the best she can. So, and if you guys don't know, that's my cousin Shelly, or Audra Joyce's mom. And Shelly is in Chillicothe Women's Correctional Facility. So I wanted to start this show off by reminding everybody that the reason why I specifically, and Alora has tagged on with me, why I am talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and why today's episode is Justice for Dee Dee, is because, thank you, Alabama Rose. My aunt is doing much better. So thank you very much for that. So I want everybody to remember that I initially started out praying for Gypsy. My cousin was in prison with her, and they did not know each other. So, but she would see her exercising in the yard. They weren't together because my cousin's not in Gen Pop. She's in the Women's Empowerment Program. I finally know what it is.
Women's Empowerment. I thought that.
Yeah, Shelly's told me that forever, but I just always forget when it comes time to actually talk about it.
Wait, so you mean there's like different programs and stuff for people within Chillicothe prison?
Yes, there are.
Really?
And there's this whole wing of women who take classes and work on their mental health.
Self-improvement.
Yeah.
Betterment of oneself. Yeah.
Yeah. So I initially started praying for Gypsy because I didn't know anything about Gypsy's case except for what I'd seen in the media, and it was very little for me because I was sick, and so I wasn't really paying attention. Hey, Terry. Good to see you. This is Terry Lynch, if it'll actually work with me. Sorry, we're having internet problems.
Just keep talking. Then.
Terry from Tracer Rounds here on Military Broadcast Radio. Thank you for watching. So, yeah, I started talking about Gypsy. Well, I started praying for Gypsy because I didn't know much about what was going on. Alora had come to me and told me that Gypsy was in prison with Shelly. So I was like, oh, dang, we need to
see what's up with that.
Yeah, see what's up. Is she being treated well? What's going on? So Shelly and I, we started praying for her, and we started. Thank you, Alora.
Yeah, she gets distracted. Love you. Okay, keep talking.
Okay. So yeah. So Shelly and I started praying for her because we were concerned for her and we were concerned for her well-being. And so that's what we were doing. We were probably praying for her whenever the news came out that I think it was when the news came out that she was actually getting out of prison is when I started thinking, oh, Shelley's in prison with her.
Yeah.
So that's when we started, talking about her and praying for her and stuff like that. And then and I've said this many times, but whenever Gypsy started talking about going to see Taylor Swift at the Kansas City Chiefs game, that's when my red flags started flying. So I started seeing a lot of things that I was just like, wow, that's really odd. So I felt like she was just returning back to the same old, same old. So that's when I started going out and looking for information. I hadn't watched The Act. I hadn't watched any of the documentaries or anything like that. So before I had even done that, I went online to YouTube and I just started looking up Gypsy Rose. And I do not honestly remember who brought Fancy to my attention, but I did hear about Fancy and I heard about Rachel Garlick. And I didn't know who either of those two people were. So I then commenced to start figuring it out. And this is where we've come to. And if you guys have followed the show, you will know that it's just kind of been a progression. And I don't consider myself a content creator necessarily. It's more, this is about cognitive therapy for me. And because I suffer from severe chronic migraines. And actually, I had an episode last night and into the day today. It probably started going away around 2:00 today. So, yeah.
By the way, Alabama Rose, we don't know if we're necessarily trying to get her re-prosecuted. We just think that it's just something that's worth talking about. And I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know, but
so just so you guys know, from my perspective, I am a history nerd. I love history. And so one of the things that I've always thought about.
Hi, Toddy.
Yeah. Hi, Toddy. One of the things that I've always thought about in history is the story of Anne Boleyn. And I know I've talked about this before, but this is where my head is. So that way you guys understand, where my head is. I've always wondered about the story of Anne Boleyn. I always wondered if what they said about her was true. So then I started paying attention to some of the royal family and stuff like that in the news after that. And so, yeah, basically, I just love history and I want to know more. I want to know the real story. I want to know, was it a one-sided story or was it an amalgamation of both sides and then somewhere in the truth? So that's where I'm coming from. And guys, I have cognitive issues, so I will lose my place and I will forget what I'm doing, but I'm trying. And so, with that being said, it's more about the history of what happened than about getting Gypsy in trouble or anything like that. I would like for her to be held accountable, for her actions, because I believe that her mother was not as bad as what she has portrayed. And I say that after a whole year of actually paying attention to what has been put out there. And ironically enough, I thought that a lot of this FOIA requests that I got was already out there. I totally thought it was. I was going to ask Fancy for the FOIA requests and all of the crime scene pictures and all of that because I thought she was really the only one that had them.
Yeah.
And but then when Fancy and I had our falling out or whatever, basically her just trashing us and me just deciding, okay, I'm not gonna put up with it anymore.
Hey, everything comes from her.
Yeah,
we wouldn't even know who Gypsy Rose was
if
it wasn't for her.
I know,
really
and she made us. But no, I was originally going to get this information from Fancy, but she started acting crazy. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go and do some FOIA requests. I had no idea how to do it. I started it out and I've got probably, now that I'm thinking about it, because Laura asked me earlier, I probably have 11 FOIA requests out that I
Oh, do
still have
you?
not gotten information from.
Okay.
Now, some of it is not on Gypsy Rose
Mhm.
or Nicholas Godejohn. Some of it is on other people that I am working on behind the scenes for the podcast. I'm not sure what's going to come of it, but I have some. Actually, this is a good time to bring this up. Actually,
Is it?
yes,
I
it
don't know
is.
what you're talking
No,
about.
it's a
Okay.
good time to
Okay.
bring this up. So, so I have been in communication with several prisoners here in the state of
Mhm.
Missouri, and I have intentionally asked them about prison reform.
Mhm.
I don't really want to delve into their cases too much. Gypsy specifically, I want to know more about. But for the most part, the inmates that I do right here in Missouri, I just want to know about what they think about prison reform. What does it look like to them? Um, how can we help? How can we help them?
Because there's some crazy things going on behind the scenes, and nobody knows better than what's going on than the prisoners. So I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah, so there's several prisoners I'm in communication with, and one of those inmates that I did send a message to. I'm being upfront because I want everybody to know. I did send a message to Nicholas Godejohn through Securus, asking him about prison reform.
Mhm.
I do not care about what he has to say about Gypsy.
Mhm.
Um, I genuinely don't. I mean, if he wants to talk to me about it, okay, I'll listen to him, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to put it out. I have lots of information from the prison that I don't put out. I have
Yeah.
lots of information that I don't put out on a regular basis. I've got notebooks and Bible studies full of notes and things like that. So, so yes, I've got a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's not all about Gypsy and Nicholas. I'm more interested about the fact that Gypsy murdered her mother and got 10 years and only served 8.5. And my cousin had 5 ounces of meth, and there was a gun that was not hers in her home that was her boyfriend's, and she still got 25 years in prison, and he is not in prison.
I think what I'm more he's not in prison. That sucks.
No.
Shit. No, I'm saying what I'm most worried about is the fact that she just manipulated an autistic man.
Yes.
At the end of the
Mhm.
day, I'm controversially, or not controversially, but within this community as of recent, I don't think Dee Dee was probably a very good person at all, just from the things that I've heard. But regardless, I don't think that she deserved to die in the way that she died, especially since it seemed like there could have been a lot of outs and stuff like that. So, but anyway, let's get right into it because it's been a lot of stuff
Well,
that we've got. A lot of stuff.
before I get into it, I
Okay.
just want to read this out. This is in the description of this video. I just wanted to read it out to everybody to kind of give you a summation of how I feel. Okay, so we honor the memory of Clauddine Dee Blanchard, whose life was tragically cut short under circumstances that have captured the world's attention. Beyond the narratives and controversy, Dee Dee was a mother, a storyteller, and a woman with complexities that deserves recognition and respect. Her life, while overshadowed by struggles and scrutiny, reminds us of the need to seek the truth with empathy and to honor the humanity in every story. As we reflect on her legacy, we encourage our listeners and viewers to approach her memory with compassion and to advocate for justice, transparency, and understanding. Let us not forget that Dee Dee was more than a name in the headlines. She was a person whose life mattered. May her story inspire critical thinking, kindness, and a commitment to justice. So we stand with all of the creators who are out there trying to make that happen, because this is a daunting task. But I truly believe that while Dee Dee was a scammer and did fraudulent things, I think she was a good mom.
No, you're not a good mom if you're keeping your kids away from people. I'm sorry, just point blank period. You're not.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
you can say that, but somebody in one of the comments on our video reminded me that Gypsy was actually around kids on a regular basis.
I don't know. I don't know enough about it apparently, but I'm just I don't know.
So a lot of people
get kind of defensive when I hear a lot of people like. I very much empathize with the situation of Dee Dee, but I feel like a lot of people are putting a lot of good things onto her, and I don't know.
No, and that's actually part of the reason why I really hadn't spoken up a whole lot on Dee Dee herself. Because how do you reconcile a mom who is teaching her child to steal, teaching her child to lie? How do you reconcile that?
But I also know and love a lot of people that do very similar things. So again, I would hate to see them meet that unfortunate demise. And I did take part in, the fundraiser that they did the other night on Morbid stream. So shout out to Morbid and all of your crew and everything.
Yes.
I did take part in that, but still, I don't know.
No, it's a complicated issue. Dee Dee is complicated.
I don't feel comfortable speaking definitively on it one way or another.
Exactly.
Especially since none of us were really there. We really don't know. I could be completely wrong. Maybe she was perfect, but I really don't,
I doubt it, but
yeah.
and I don't think she was perfect by any means. But what I try to remember is that I have a lot of loved ones who make
poor decisions,
ridiculous decisions, and that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that they make choices that are bad.
We love a lot of incarcerated individuals. We love a lot of drug addicts. We love a lot of former criminals for various reasons,
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, we're going to go to break right now because we're at 17 minutes, and then we will come back and we will start getting into the messages that I got from the FOIA request between Aaliyah and Gypsy. And then I found something this afternoon that I didn't realize I had. So
yeah,
it's very interesting. I have not seen this information anywhere. I've seen like bits and pieces of it, which leads me to believe that somebody has this information, but for whatever reason,
I'm sure we're not the first people to submit a FOIA request. I just feel like a lot of people probably believed that between like Fancy, Anita, and Morbid, and all the other creators that are out there, someone probably published everything.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people that probably did submit FOIA requests probably overlook a lot of things, just assuming that it's kind of already out in the opening or open, and
like
which
me.
is kind of where you were at, and you ended up sending some things over to Becca Scoops and Starlight and some other people, but anyway.
Yeah, okay, so we are going to take a break and we're going to listen to Single This Summer by Matt Oakley, which, by the way, we are excited for him.
We're excited for him. I would like to say I'm not going to get political on here today, but I'm just going to anyway, I'm not going to get political on here today, but regardless, I'm proud that he's going to be at the inauguration.
Yeah, at the ball.
He's at the ball.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be performing at the ball.
At the inauguration presidential ball.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to him.
Yes.
I wouldn't do it, but congrats to him. And I really do. I do like him, and I appreciate him, and I respect him. So that is a really big thing. And if you want to watch our interview that we did with him, you can go in our back catalog. So here is Matt Oakley.
Yes. Single This Summer.
Bar stools and cigarette smoke where the dive bar band's playing all the wrong notes. Them dollar bills still hanging on the wall. This ain't no place for her kind at all. She had them red bottoms on in this blue collar town. There's only two reasons why girls like her come around. She either took a wrong turn back in Austin, or she's looking for love cause she lost it. We were two flames burning, red wine and bourbon, leaning on each other for a little southern comfort, just trying to fit the mood right under the neon Single this summer. Sunsets and sunrise nights have never been my thing. Hell, they might just be what I need after all. Hell, you can't find love till you fall. And she ain't used to red dirt roads, but for what it's worth, I feel like home in the middle of the soul bench seat. Every song brings me closer to me. We were two flames burning, red wine and bourbon, leaning on each other for a little southern comfort, just trying to set the mood right under the neon moonlight. She was chasing that freedom, love a man, leave him, trying to make her mine by the end of the night. I'm a good line away from her number, trying to keep her from being single this summer. We were two flames burning, red wine and bourbon, leaning on each other for a little southern comfort, just trying to set the moon right under the neon moonlights. She was chasing that freedom, love a man, leave him, trying to make her mine by the end of the night. I'm a good line away from her number, trying to keep her from being single this summer. Single this summer.
Every Monday at 12:30 p.m. and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, join Jimmy Covers, Caveman, and HG for Till the Final.
I was trying to play, but our internet sucks. That was supposed to be a commercial for the final whistle
Gotcha.
here on MBR. So welcome back to Military Broadcast Radio. Sorry, our internet is really bad. We've got a
It's
lot of
messed up,
ice.
yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ice on the ground. We have a lot of snow on the ground.
Mhm.
And plus my internet just sucks anyway. So,
And we've gotten new internet since when we started too, right?
oh yeah,
And we're paying for the expensive internet.
we're paying for the expensive internet. I've got a gaming computer. I've
You're just
got,
can't get it to work.
yeah.
I literally can't connect my phone to the internet while I'm here whatsoever.
I can't either.
I have to completely disconnect and use my data like all the time.
Me
so.
too.
Anyway,
as well. Okay, so we are back and we are talking about justice for Dee Dee. And like we said earlier, we have mixed emotions on Dee Dee. But at the end of the day, we believe that there is misinformation out there about what really happened in this case.
well, I'm also just concerned about somebody making all of the money off of a crime like that and there being
Yeah.
so many inaccuracies, which is not a unique feeling. That's how everyone here feels. But I just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to just go over the messages between Aaliyah and Gypsy, and then we will get into the stuff that I found a couple hours ago.
Okay.
So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger so we can, or I can see it over here.
Okay.
So, okay.
Do you just want me to read them out?
Yeah, go ahead
I'll
and
make it
read them
easier.
out. And so,
Oh, what's up? What you trying to show me?
you just moved my mouse. Okay, so see your mouse is right there?
Yep.
You're going to be.
Anyway, okay. So it says, "Hey Aaliyah, it's Gypsy. How have you been? Is that your baby?" And then Aaliyah responds, "Hey girl, I'm good. How are you? I've missed you. LOL.
can go back.
No, I wish."
You can go to the next one. It shows it. I did not take screenshots
Yeah.
of these. This
She-
is from the Greene County.
Yeah, so they took pictures of their phones
Yeah.
specifically rather than like literally screenshotting them or whatever. So this isn't our doing. If it looks a little
Janky.
trashy, it's not us. Our bad. Says, "LOL, no, I wish. It's my best friend's. Her name is Charlie." And then Gypsy says, I'm great. This is my personal account. My mom is still overprotective, so she don't know about this account. LOL. Anyway, I'm doing great. Still live at my house. It's pink now. I've often wondered how you've been. Leah responds, I saw it. It's super cute.
Okay, so do you know what they're referencing here about why DeeDee is mad at her?
No.
So from what I understand, this is from what I understand.
Correct us in the comments if you have
yes,
that
please please correct us in the comments if we have this wrong. But from what I understand, this is referencing whenever Gypsy sent some inappropriate messages to her father.
To Rod. Oh yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what this is about.
So Gypsy sent an inappropriate message to Rod and then
blamed it on
Oh.
Aaliyah.
So that Aaliyah sent the inappropriate
Yes.
images of Gypsy to Rod?
Yes.
How did Aaliyah get the images of Gypsy?
Exactly. I mean, I think they said that she was playing around or trying to be vengeful or something. I don't know.
There you go.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, sending your nudes to your father, that's a choice for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not a choice I would make. Okay. But I also wouldn't kill my mom. Love you. Okay. And Gypsy says, I've often wondered how you've been after you left. Oh, I just read that.
It's all right.
Daisy. And then Aaliyah says, I saw it. Super cute. Does your mom hate me? Ditto. Okay, I just read that out.
That's why I'm saying you need to go to the.
I'm getting.
You know what? I'll do it. Okay, but also
Super
I was
professional
wondering.
here.
I heard rumors that when we were friends, you was making fun of me behind my back, so I stopped being your friend. Is this true? My mom and I didn't like you after these rumors came out. So you notice that Gypsy is always saying that people are calling her bad names, and it's usually the R word. Because she said her dad said that, and Aaliyah and somebody else. I can't remember. So yeah.
I could find it very realistic though if people were calling her that word.
True.
So,
I don't think with the way Aaliyah is talking to her in this, I don't know that she might have, you never know, but I don't think so. Okay, so it says, Aaliyah says, no, never once did I make fun of you, Gypsy. I cared and still care more for you than I have ever cared for my sisters. I've never whispered one negative thing about you or your mother. Who was saying these things? I messaged her about a year ago or so on here and checked to see how you both were, and she never replied. I want to make sure that this is okay. That's why. But
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think my mom wants us hanging out because, the way that she writes is hard for me to follow, and that's why I keep tripping up. Okay. I don't think my mom wants us hanging out. Well, she said you're a bad influence on me, but I'll still be your friend on here. I just can't hang out because I got to listen to mom. And I don't remember who said you was being mean. It was a long time ago.
Which to me says that she probably made it up.
Yeah. No, especially if she's being kind of.
Mm-hmm. You want to do that or you want me
I guess. And I don't remember who said you was being mean. It was a long time ago, but I believe you, and it took me a while to pluck up the nerve to ask because it hurt super bad.
I don't blame you one bit. I wouldn't want to involve myself with someone that would speak poorly of me either. I don't blame your mom. I was young and incredibly stupid, but it has been several years and I have done a ton of growing up. Maybe you should slyly ask her about it. I'm 21 going on 22. It's been several years.
I'll see. But truth is, I was going through a rough time too. But I'm growing up too. I'm a painter now. I met a wonderful guy. We have been together for 2 years now. I'm going to be introducing him to my mom in March. My mom still doesn't want me dating, but I'm hoping it. So hard to read the way that she's but I think that's like intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom still doesn't want me dating, but I hope all will go well in March and she approves of him. He is my first boyfriend and he is amazing. He is my soulmate. Really, truly he is. He gives me poems and is so romantic. He lives in Wisconsin though, so it's a long distance relationship. And my older cat, the Calico, passed away in December. But we got a new one, a kitty sweetie pie. She's white with 2 heart-shaped spots on her back.
Now I've heard different
things about sweetie pie.
Yeah. Okay. Aaliyah says, we all go through times like that. I hope she's understanding. How old are you these days? And what about him? How did you two meet? I'm sorry to hear about your loss, but Sweetie Pie sounds like a really cutie. How are you and your mother and your health? How are things going with all of that? Been on any exciting adventures?
It's going to take me time, LOL. I'm going to go eat and I'll bang you back on later. LOL.
Okie dokie, enjoy.
Thanks.
Okay, so considering the fact that she had a feeding tube, and Melissa Moore, the author of her book, says that Gypsy didn't taste food until she went to prison.
She didn't taste food until she went to prison.
Yeah, she didn't eat. And then she also, in Gypsy's book, she says something about how when she got to prison, and even still to this day, she has to think about the swallow and the chew.
Think about the swallow and the chew. Okay, noted. She's swallowing all the damn time, but
okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, now to catch up. I'm 18. Nick, my boyfriend, is 24. We met on a Christian single site, and what made me fall for him was when I told him I'm in a wheelchair and I've got medical issues, and I was bracing myself for him to be like other guys. I was expecting him to either pity me or say, oh, goodbye. But his response kind of looks like it says reproduce.
Yeah, it does.
But his response was, I don't care about that. You're an angel in my eyes and you're perfect. That melted my heart. And after 3 days of talking, something just connected. We started being a couple a few days later, and in the first year, it was fantastic. But we had a bit of trouble with his exes wanting to go break us up. So we agreed we just won't talk to them. We rarely ever argue. And if we do, it's because... Why are they arguing? Okay. It's because I'm being insecure and downing myself. I get that way during my period. Don't we all? No. So he knows be extra sensitive, LOL. But he's the kind of man that is like unreal kind and romantic. There's a reason why my profile pic is Cinderella and the prince, because he calls me Queen Blessing. Okay. Queen Blessing, and I call him King Charming. We are that couple, and that always show PDA, and people are like, y'all are too cute. Who's saying they're too cute? Who's saying them? Hypothetically. Somebody in the chat might know, but I don't know. And people are always like, y'all are too cute, LOL. We have talked about marriage, and he plans on popping the question sometime in 2016. And we want the wedding date to be in December of 2017 if all goes good. We want a snow wedding. Ooh, that would suck. And a gazebo with red and white roses. And we even, got it? Okay. And we even plan children names. If we have a son, he will be named after Nick. So Nicholas Paul go to John Jr. And if a girl, Gabriella Gypsy go to John. So we are very serious. We say we aren't dating, we are courting. Because we're both Catholic Christians. Anyways, my health has been stable. They found out. I have a chromosome deletion. That's why all the medical issues. But I'm a fighter. I'll be okay. My mom's health has gotten worse over the years. She's got diabetes, heart problems, glaucoma, affects eye vision, liver disease, kidney flavor. I keep saying flavor. What flavor are kidneys? Sorry. Kidney failure, Parkinson's disease. So she's trying to still keep up, but we had to stop doing the newsletter, and we have only had 3 movie nights this year and only 1 last year. She just had kidney surgery for kidney stone removal, and she's getting better from that. But lots have changed here in the neighborhood. Lots of people that lived here are gone now, like Sean and his little boy John.
Actually, let's...
Yeah, you want to go back because there was a lot of
yeah, let's go back.
One. Yeah, so you just went too ahead. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. Tell me what you want to talk about
Well,
first.
the first thing that I see is that Fancy was very adamant that Aurora has always been around. And it's definitely possible that maybe Aurora is in some other text message that we just didn't get or we haven't seen yet. But as of right now, it seems like it was Gabriella. I'll just go over here and I'll look at this. We have 2 screens now. Okay. So
I just wanted to see if anybody's commented. Okay.
Yeah,
there's lots of them.
A couple of different comments. Sorry, we haven't been trying to ignore you. I'll let you look at that, and then I'll look over here. There was another thing that came out. The chromosome deletion. And it makes it sound like she's saying that she only just found out about the chromosome deletion, but she would have known about that for years, right? But regardless, she is admitting it, which is big news for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Catholic Christians, you know, when she said courting, I was thinking about the Duggars and how you do like the little side hug thing. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
And then also it seems like DeeDee might be struggling more medically, like everyone said,
Mm-hmm.
than Gypsy might have been at the time. So that's just what I get from it. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, so I think like you said, I've always heard that Gypsy and Nick were going to name their daughter Aurora. Now, I heard somewhere that it came from Natasha Cooper. Now, I don't know Natasha Cooper
I don't know anything about
from
her.
Adam. I don't know anything about her. All I know is that she's supposedly fancy stalker, and I only know that because she told me that at lunch.
Well, she's fancy stalker, and I'm Fancy's biggest fan. So
Yeah. So, anyways, so yeah, that was something that struck me. That's actually the first thing I saw that I sent to everybody, and I was like, okay, guys, we've got something here that I have never seen before, and can somebody please explain to me why it says Gabriella here and why everybody else has always been saying Aurora?
I think I've even probably said that as well.
I have too. I even mocked up. I listened to her book and I started doing a video on it, but it was just too much.
Overwhelming. It's a lot of information.
It's overwhelming. And so
listen to the book. I couldn't listen to her talk that long, and I honestly didn't even watch the TV show because I just couldn't. Like,
yeah, and I haven't even
After Lockup specifically. I watched all the other ones.
But. Yeah, I watched a few episodes of The Life After Lockup.
Yeah.
Because it's just so boring, and I just can't.
And normally, if I have like any kind of like weird connection to something, I'll like automatically like hyperfixate on it. But like even with Gypsy, like I'm interested in it and I listen to it. But like as you can tell, as we're having this conversation, clearly I don't know as much as she does, and she doesn't know as much as all of you guys.
Yeah.
So we are interested in it for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, we're just here to try and find out information. And if there's any kind of information, by the way, that like someone might have to go in and get, we don't mind like driving to the capital or something like that of Missouri and doing stuff. So if anyone has any inquiries, whether it has to do with Gypsy or something else, like we'll go do like
we'll do the legwork.
We'll do the legwork. We don't really care. We don't really have much else going on. I mean, I have a job, but other than that, like, you know.
So also, like you said, I did notice that DeeDee was very sick. She wasn't doing the movie nights like everybody had thought. Everybody thought she was still continuing to do those. And I also noticed in some paperwork I saw that I got that DeeDee would not allow her to, or not allow her. Yeah, that's Gypsy's words, actually, not allow. But I saw that when Gypsy and DeeDee went missing, somebody said, well, is the electric wheelchair there? Because if the electric wheelchair is not there, then maybe they went out into the neighborhood or in the subdivision or whatever. So
wasn't it kind of like a gravel road ish, or am I crazy?
Yeah, it kind of
gravel road.
If I remember right.
Yeah, we drove down there one time when we were visiting my little brother. A couple times. A couple times for you. I only went down there one time. But again, we're not trying to harass somebody that lives there or anything. We just did it for sick curiosity. But if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's like a gravel road or kind of it's like a subdivision.
It's like a country setting. I mean, it's definitely a neighborhood.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
It is a neighborhood. Like there are multiple houses on the street, but it's not like I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of like a country setting.
Yeah. It'd be kind of hard to get around over there, I would assume, in a wheelchair, but I mean.
Yeah, but so the reason I was talking about the electric wheelchair is because DeeDee obviously used Gypsy's manual wheelchair as like I do when I'm at Walmart and I need a shopping cart. I don't go to
a walker or a wheelchair.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Well, no, the wheelchair. She used the wheelchair as like a walker type.
Oh, when she would walk, like she would have Gypsy in the wheelchair, and then she would use that.
She would
to
push
herself up.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha. Understand.
I think that's what was happening. I think it wasn't so much what Gypsy said is that she wouldn't let her get in the jazzy wheelchair because she would go all over the place. I think it was more that DeeDee had a lot of health problems, was heavy, and she needed support. And I think
I
that
could see it.
because I go to Walmart and I get a cart, and I can get around so much easier with a cart than without one. I can zip all over Walmart, but if I don't have a cart, I'm just like, oh.
I feel you. I have to do that sometimes too. So you're good.
Okay. So we're going to actually go to another commercial break because it's 40 after. Now, remember, guys, this is military broadcast radio.
It's a little different. We might have some new viewers in today. So we're kind of operating thinking that people already know how things go. But yeah, we are on a radio station. So we act like a radio station.
Yes, we do. So we are going to listen to Cynthia Rausch, Coming Home. And stay tuned, and we'll be back to talk more about these messages and what we found in the FOIA requests.
I'm about as far as I'm going. Welcome home. I'm sure your family and all your friends are going to be glad to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Walking these old dirt road side streets, looking at the sights and reminiscing, wondering what's changed since I've been gone. I'm coming home. It's like yesterday that I left here. Time flies and now it's been years, but I know this is where I belong.
Hey, Grandpa.
I'm coming home. Coming home to the family, the friends and the memories, the ones I love and the ones I regret. Coming back to make a new life, built on the one I left behind. Thank God it wasn't over yet. We're not made to live this life alone, so I'm coming home. Fear almost stopped me from returning. Thought others won't forgive the bridges burning, but I'm planning to rebuild what is gone now that I'm home. And I know it won't be the same that it was, but that's okay, 'cause I will always love this place and the ones who call it home. Yeah, that's my home. Coming home to the family, friends and the memories, the ones I love and the ones I regret. Coming back to make a new life, built on the one I left behind. Life alone, so I'm coming home. We're not made to live this life alone, so I'm coming home.
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Here on Military Broadcast Radio, that was Cynthia Rausch with Coming Home. And we are in the middle of looking at this information from the FOIA request from Greene County. These are messages between Aaliyah and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So we are going to kind of get through them pretty quick because this is just,
There's a whole lot of stuff, but I do believe that the information is now out there on other people's channels, maybe Starlight, although I heard she might have privated the live.
No, she ended up making another one where it was just these. Yeah.
Just all these. Okay, so we're going to skip over a little bit of it just so we're not getting into personal drama that has nothing to do with Gypsy specifically. So it says, and as for your mom and sister, I don't get to see them too often since we rarely have a movie night. As for my mom and my relationship as mother and daughter, it's gotten better after the rough patch I went through. I rebelled a lot against her, so it put a strain on our relationship. But slowly, we got that love back, but still building trust back. As for adventures, we went to Disney World, she says Disney World, and Universal Studios in 2012. It was awesome. Then in 2013, we went to Cape Cod, what is that? Cape Cod? MS, okay. Because I was nominated and won 5 awards for being a positive role model for children with medical. Okay. You know, she says that she was at Disney and Universal in 2012, 2013.
I know.
We live in Missouri now, but we used to live in Orlando for like 6 years. And I was homeschooled for like 3 years, but I did online school and I never finished a single class. And like, once a week, my mom would be like, hey, we're going to go on a field trip. And we're just going to like Disney and Universal and stuff like that. So,
plus on the weekend.
It was a lot cheaper back then. Florida discount. Anyway, regardless.
I actually said, I don't remember. I was in somebody's live or something. I was like, you know what? I should go look at all of our
have a lot of pictures, to be honest.
I've got
did it a lot, but
we
have a lot of pictures of it. But regardless, I have seen pictures where people have uploaded on the TikTok and it's like, oh, me at Disney way back when, and here's DeeDee in the background. And it's like, oh shit, okay. That is a little crazy. Okay, is this the next one? Or
yes, it's the next one.
As for adventures, we went to Disney World and Universal Studios in 2012. It was awesome. Then 2013, we went to Cape Cod, because I was nominated and won 5 awards for being a positive role model for children with medical issues, and I'm still doing public speaking. I love it. Let's see. Oh, and the best news, Mom and I are going to Disney World again in January. But guess what? We are also going to the Harry Potter park at get this, at the same time the Harry Potter celebration will be going on. I will be having dinners with actors from the cast. I think Daniel Radcliffe will be on there too. You know what's actually really crazy? I remember being in high school. It was the first high school I went to. It was in St. Cloud. And there was a specific day, and it was right after our passes had actually expired. And I remember I had a huge crush on all of the characters from Harry Potter, like almost all of them, specifically Draco. I realized that my crush faded, and I was like, I wonder why. And I was like, oh, you're an adult now. That's why. Like, no, duh, you don't have a crush on him anymore. Anyway, but I remember that Fred and George, what are their names? We just watched them on a baking show.
Yeah, I don't know their real names.
I know their names somewhere in here. Someone in the comments, if you remember Fred and George's real names. But anyway, I remember specifically talking to people about how they were supposed to be there. Sorry, I'm just making connections in my real life, making connections. I was like, oh my God. I'm a big Potterhead, and you know, I'm missing this. Anyway, sorry, I'm making this about me when it has nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Anyway, when you see little connections from your real life, it's like, oh, that's wild.
No, I know. When I saw the dates, I was like, oh, we were at Disney and Universal then.
Yikes. Okay. Haven't been since, for the record.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Radcliffe will be there too. Okay, that was one I didn't have a crush on. Okay, so tell me everything that's been going on with you and things I'm into these days. I love the Hunger Games movies.
We did too.
I did too at the time. I'm reading the Mortal Instruments book series, and I'm still homeschooled, doing good on all that, A+. I also got rebaptized because I wanted to be saved after my little acting out in 2011. So I wear my purity ring as a symbol of my faith to God. I was also wearing a purity ring at the time.
Yes, you were.
Funny how that turned out. I've actually never read the Mortal Instruments series.
I have.
Was it any
Yeah.
good,
Well, I
or-
read the first book, and then I think there might have been like a book or not a book,
Yeah.
a movie or a TV series or something
Yeah.
like that. I definitely watched that.
Okay, I used to be I used to think that Divergent was good though, so I don't really you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like nervous to speak on anything from that time. I feel like if I look back on it, it's probably all cringe. Like I love Twilight.
I know.
Love Twilight, but it sucks.
I
Like,
know.
it really
It's
sucks.
really bad.
And 9/11 to 50 Shades of Grey pipeline. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave you guys with that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know why this.
Is it not in order anymore?
Yeah, I guess not. I don't
Not
know.
anymore.
So
Was there anything specifically that you're wanting to look over that was important, or were we just
No,
reading
I
through a
think
bunch
that
of
was
random
it.
messages? Okay, yeah.
yeah, I think that was it. That was like.
Other video than us, or we'll put it on our community tab. One of the two.
Yeah,
So,
and I have gotten some more information that I
Yes.
released to a couple people, and no one has said anything yet about it. But I know that I'm supposed to be going on Tottie's show sometime to talk about it. So
were you supposed to announce that?
I don't
Oh.
think she has any problems with that.
Hi, Toddy. No. I don't know if you're still in here, but regardless, we hope that your drive through the snow was safe. So
Yes.
if you're watching this on rewind, even if you're not in here right now, hope all is well.
Yes, and I'm sorry for sending it to other people.
I don't even know what she's talking about. So, but also, I found out about the whole like stealing information thing, which we never accused anyone of stealing our information. By the way, we didn't watermark it. We don't care. We didn't even put out the information until now, like a week later. So, anyway, I didn't even find out about that though until I saw Millennial's video. So, shout out to Millennial.
Yes,
If
shout
you
out to
haven't seen
Millennial.
1980 Millennial. She's also a good channel. There's a lot of good channels on here. So,
Yes, there are. Okay, so this is the supplemental report that I got. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Let's see.
okay.
I'm going to keep a hold of the mouse because there's some sensitive information further up. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
okay, so this is a supplemental report that was filed on 11/29/2017. And this is basically everything that they found.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so a thumb drive, and this was prepared by Hancock, whoever that
this
is.
What you were telling me about over the phone earlier?
Yes.
Okay. This is some sensitive information, and I don't know. We don't want to shame anybody through publishing this.
Correct.
Or
Okay.
make any sort of type of
Yeah, that's
statement
something I
about
wanted
it.
to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am only putting this out here, and because Laura and I talked about it, I'm only putting this out here because somebody's going to.
Fair enough.
And I would rather it be Laura and I because I think that we're kinder and we will look at the situation from a human point and not.
There's a lot of people that will. No hate to
yeah,
anybody. I
no.
want to make that clear because you just gotta, yeah.
I just mean that there are some people out there doing FOIA requests already that will get this information
Okay, yeah, that person.
potentially.
Yeah, the person that waited 10 years to put in a FOIA request. We got a fire.
So potentially, now this information could be out there. I have just never seen it, and I've never heard it talked about. So this is what we're going to go over. So let's see.
This thumb drive contained all of the electronics, computers, laptops, thumb drives, and USBs downloaded from Springfield Police Department Officer Michael Costello. These above items were collected from Nicholas Godejohn's residence pursuant to a search warrant. There are also videos of Gypsy found on the USB, which she sent to Nicholas. They were reviewed as well. The following are the files and videos I reviewed and is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the files and videos. Skype chat messages did not indicate any conversation about the murder or the planning of the murder. Skype chat sync messages did not indicate any conversation about the murder or the planning of the murder. Google searches did show searches for tape, the address that, Gypsy lived at, ruffled wrist cuffs, which that sounds a little different, Greyhound change date on a ticket, BHN taxi fare, Springfield, Missouri flower service, and Greyhound bus Milwaukee. Firefox web history showed searches for several pornographic websites, marriage laws in Missouri, wedding officiants, apartment living in Springfield, Missouri, Section 8 housing in Springfield, Missouri, and extreme restraints.
So this is all stuff that Gypsy was looking at. Okay, now this is marked confidential, but I did not receive anything telling me that I could not repost this stuff. I was given a flash drive and a receipt for.
And it wasn't redacted like a lot of the information.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when she got the information, like the pictures and videos, or not videos, but the crime scene photos that Fancy is selling on her Patreon, those are not redacted. But the ones that we got from the FOIA request are redacted.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure what the difference is. I don't know if they changed it, but I also know like a couple months ago they took a lot of the information about this offline anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure. And that's when I went in to the federal courthouse in Missouri. And I literally walked in and we searched through all the databases. And that's when we were able to confirm that Gypsy is not being looked into federally. She's not being investigated, at least as of 4 months ago, whenever that was. So, yeah.
Okay, so these are more things that were found on the Firefox, I think.
Facebook chat showed a confirmation email from Greyhound Bus giving Nicholas his reference number. Classified URLs showed searches for handcuffs, mouthwash, bondage tape to include the ankle, wrist, black bondage PVC tape that does not pull hair, and mouth ball gag harness restraints. Oh boy. Okay. Chrome web visits showed searches for taxi finder costs and rates Big Bend, Wisconsin, Greyhound Bus, Days Inn, Springfield, Missouri, Domino's Pizza, taxi finder fare rates from Days Inn. Okay, more addresses. And Papa John's Pizza. So she got Domino's and Papa John's. Tell us in chat, would you rather have Domino's or Papa John's? My little brother always orders Papa John's, but it makes me sick to my stomach. Old school Papa John's, when Papa John's was still, when he was doing, and making all the pizzas, great stuff. But now, I don't know. But I do like the fact that they have the little peppers and they have the little garlic sauce. But otherwise, I'd probably have Domino's. So,
me
down
too.
below. Domino's or Papa John's. Apparently both for Gypsy. Chrome web visits showed searches for mother-daughter missing, considered endangered, KY3, Springfield mother found dead, daughter still missing, and Ozarks first. Also, I just realized I'm laughing at a lot of inappropriate times.
Yeah.
I promise it's not personal. That's just how I am. I can't not laugh. I trauma dump and then I laugh. So that's just me. Where was I? Chrome Falcons showed 2 different dates of a search for Ozarks first, and a bunch of different stuff. Okay. Chrome web history showed searches for, the same stuff in the last one. Okay.
There are videos.
There are videos which are the exact same, but are labeled different titles. Nicholas did not talk about the murder or any plans for him to commit the murder in the videos. Most all the videos were of Nicholas talking about his relationship with Gypsy and sexual experiences they were going to have. Nicholas mostly rambles on in the videos and does not talk a whole lot about anything but the two's relationship. Nicholas appeared to be talking and acting normal in most of the videos. There are some videos where he would change his voice and act if he was another person. The following few videos are mostly the kind of things Nicholas would talk about in all the other videos. The following few videos content is written.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. It's hard for me to follow. Okay. Is written out to give an example of what the rest of the videos are similar to. This was done to save time for someone else to have watched several hours of video. The rest of the videos I watched were indicated as nothing pertaining to the homicide, same video as video above.
Can you imagine this guy having to watch all of these videos?
I wonder. Oh, Toddy is still driving and have no problem with that. I'm curious, how far away do you live from your job? Okay. Where did I'm sorry. I actually messed up.
That's all right.
Video labeled a bunch of zeros and a 2 is over 13 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is talking to Gypsy's other I'm sorry. I can't read. Okay. In this video, Nicholas is talking to Gypsy's other alternate made-up personalities. He talked about having sexual intercourse with Gypsy and his rough sexual side towards her while they have sexual intercourse. He talked about how he was Gypsy's master and how each personality needed him to wear certain types of clothing during sexual intercourse. He talked about how hard it would be for Gypsy to please him and she needed not to disappoint him. He talked about how she needed to make some videos for him.
Okay. So when you read that paragraph, does that strike you as somebody dealing with actual alternate personalities?
It seems kinky to me, but I don't know. I'm not a mental health professional.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were just looking at, okay, just as a layperson, what is that? It doesn't remind me of somebody who is like being consumed and becomes another person. It's a change out. It's like a switch. It's like a costume change. That's what I was trying to.
Again, I don't have a fully formed opinion on it, but I mean, it just seems like kinky shit to me. So
Okay. So, anyways,
video 6 is over 6 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is playing with himself. Okay.
yeah,
This is the part I don't know how.
we want you guys to know it, but I feel bad because I don't want Nicholas to feel bad, but this is already out there. So do we cover it and try to do it respectfully? Let's just,
With all due respect, you are no less of a man dependent on the way that your body operates, and that's all I have to say about
Yes.
that. So let's keep it kind, but everyone's kind in our comments. There's really
Yeah.
nothing. Anyway, Nicholas is playing with himself and shows his penis to the camera on the device he's recording from. He talked about how he did research on how to get your penis to be full size. He said, according to a website he went to, indicated if you drink a lot of soda with sugar and caffeine, your penis would be fully erect the following day. During the video, he continues to try and make his penis erect while he was talking to Gypsy about the method. He said this was his second attempt at showing his penis fully erect to her, but he does not accomplish this. He talked about how he was not happy with the length of his penis. Now, I do want to make a comment. I don't fully understand what the Pepsi thing that Fancy talks about is, but as soon as I read
me
that,
too.
I thought about the Pepsis.
Yeah, me too.
Insert video of Fancy screaming about the Pepsis. So I don't know if that's related.
I'm glad you caught that.
Anyone in the chat who might know a little bit more about the situation than we do, comment again. All bodies are beautiful. This has no
shame.
No shame. I don't know. I feel
From us.
I don't know how I feel just having read that out, but you know what? It was on the screen and it was too late.
It was on the screen. It's going to be out there, and I would rather us handle it.
I actually didn't even read any of this stuff.
She didn't.
I heard you say something about it over the phone. That was all. Yeah. Video 8 is over 12 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas awakes from sleeping and started talking to the computer to Gypsy. He talked about what he was wearing to bed, which was a t-shirt and plaid boxers. He messes with the computer's camera, focusing on his crotch area. He then removed his penis from his underwear, showed it in a limp state, and talked about how he had actually been up for a while, and this is why his penis is no longer fully erect. He showed off his bracelet he was wearing. Showed off the bracelet he was wearing and his necklace. Most of the video was about him wanting to get fully erect to show Gypsy. Video 9 is over 4 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas talked about how it was 4 o'clock in the morning and he was making a goodnight video to Gypsy. Video 10 is over 18 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas is addressing Gypsy and how her body may be broken physically but not spiritually. He talked about how Gypsy deserved him and his love to her. He told her he only wanted 3 things from her: sex, affection, and her staying true to him. He talked about how they adored her, or how they adored each other to the point that the other person would even murder someone for them. Now, I do remember, again, I didn't read the book, but didn't she say something about how, like, he didn't actually take her virginity in the bathroom because of the same problem? So, I mean, it seems consistent. Yeah. So, okay. Video number 3813, more numbers than that,
3813.
3813 is over 21 minutes long. In this video, Nicholas talked about how he could see into the future and wanted to warn Gypsy that he would not be at home, but he would be at his grandmother's house. He talked about Ash Wednesday, and during this time, he would be very busy doing fish fries. He talked about how he was going to make a trip where Gypsy was to see her, but he did not go into detail about why or for what reason he was going to visit her. He talked about how he could make a lot of money by playing fantasy sports. He talked about the Disney movie Up and how it reminded him of her. He talked about an account of some sort where she had money possibly saved up, but he never said how much or what type of account or bank. Now, something I was thinking of, I feel like a lot of us can relate to this. Have you ever like told someone you love them so much that, oh yeah, someone mess with you, I'll help you bury a body. There's a bunch of people I've said, oh yeah, I'm the friend that would help you bury the body. I'm not really the friend who's going to help you bury the body.
No.
Now I will stick with you, through thick and thin. Maybe not certain situations or certain things that I find unforgivable. But I just sometimes wonder what things he thought was more so being like, yes, I love you, I would kill for you, which I've said similar things, it being hyperbolic, but especially him not being, I don't know.
Well, and I feel like that's kind of where the manipulation was, it was more about him not understanding reality and how to deal with these situations.
Yeah. So a fruitful future with me.
Yeah.
I just said
just,
it's the same. Okay.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
A message from your king, Nick, and Master Victor about second trial equals Nicholas talked about his court appearance in Wisconsin and how he had set up a payment plan to pay his fine. Is that over the McDonald's incident?
I believe so. That's the only thing I could think of, unless he had like a speeding ticket or something.
Was he?
I don't even know if he drove.
Does anyone know if okay, sorry. Again, like I said, like I don't pay as much attention to this as I probably should to be talking about it, but regardless, you can talk about whatever you want on the internet. What was I gonna say? Was he dating Gypsy whenever this McDonald's thing happened?
Yes, he was, which I did not realize in the beginning.
You didn't realize?
Yeah.
We've all done some kinky shit. No, not that bad. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I shouldn't be making light of this situation.
No, okay. But I feel like with all of the information out there between her book and the different documentaries and things like that, I feel like that McDonald's incident was more about Gypsy than about Nick, because they talked about having sex in public and they talked about all these things. So, in my opinion, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Toddy said, "Oh, I'm going 20 miles an hour and I'm about 25 miles away from where I work. It's about how far away I live." That's crazy. That sounds like weather here. I mean, it's not nearly as bad now, but from what I understand, it's snowing there in New York. So please be safe.
Did just say that it was snowing, so that would make sense.
Duh. Sorry.
From what I understand. Anyway, gotcha. Okay, sorry, not the appropriate time for me to laugh. Okay. I don't even think I finished.
Yeah, just start it over.
Here, I guess I'll start it over. A message from your King Nick and Master Victor about second trial. Nicholas talked about his court appearance in Wisconsin and how he had set up a payment plan to pay his fine. He talked about how he was consistent with everything he does and that the fine will get paid because the alternative would be spending 4 days in jail. He talked about the date 11/11/2013 being his court date, which was the same day he made the video. Oh, okay. Made the video that they're referencing here, not the. Okay, gotcha. Okay. He talked about how he was testing the media when they interviewed him about his case and how they lied about what he said. Later in the video, Nicholas changes his voice and told Gypsy her master Victor was now the one talking to her. Nicholas, aka Victor, talked about the court fines again. A must brought up topic. Nicholas talked about how Gypsy was worried he only wanted to have sex with her when he was with her. During the video, he told Gypsy if she would just submit to him, then this issue would be done and over with, and Nicholas snaps his fingers. He talked mostly about her giving in and backing down to him. He said he would not back down from her and she needed to back down to him.
Okay, so
That does sound, in regards to the way that she talks about things, I can I don't know.
yeah, but I feel like this is more like
I'm not saying,
fantasy.
well,
In
duh, it's obviously fantasy.
in Nick's
but
mind, I feel like it's fantasy. And I feel, in my opinion, I feel like Gypsy was pushing him to feel like it was reality. I think initially it started out as fantasy, and I think the lines got blurred somewhere in between, and I think that's what happened. But there was something else I was going to say about that.
Well, it looks like there's a couple more videos
Yeah.
that are a successful video of my penis being showed and talk about other topics that are recent.
Mm-hmm.
Another romantic attempt, expressing feeling and sadness and anger.
Mhm.
But it says that none of them pertain to the homicide.
Yeah.
Expressing more feeling. Nicholas told Gypsy he was upset with her because she had compared him to a serial killer. He said he had too much of an innocent personality to do that. He talked about how he was hurt and how she hurt him by saying that. He talked about a spell he wanted her to do so that they would be bound together forever. He talked about the eyes being the window of the soul, but the ears were the road to his soul. He never said he had.
He said he never had.
Oh, okay. Real quick, I want to comment on that real quick though, and then we'll get back into it. But that kind of sounds like projection, like she's trying to.
Well, look who it starts bringing up.
Ooh.
Let's finish that before we get
okay.
into that.
Put a pin in it. I say that to my friend all the time. Okay. He said he never had a mother or father because they were working all the time and they did not spend enough time with him. He said Gypsy was like a mother to him. Ooh. Because of this, he had to grow up early. He was a family man with rare characteristics. He said she did not need to compare him to Charles Manson because he did research on him. He then yells at her to never compare him to Charles Manson. He told Gypsy she did not need to fear his Dark One coming out and killing her or doing anything to harm her. The Dark One might do sexual things to her, but he would not harm her. She had 2 protectors inside of him to keep her in sorry, I thought that was something. Okay. He said she had 2 protectors inside of him to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that Charles Manson comment.
It sounded like she was trying to plant, in my personal unprofessional opinion, it sounded like she was maybe trying to plant ideas in his head. Like, oh, you're just like a serial killer, babe. And, if he went along with it, then it's like, okay, this is evidence to show that clearly he was already thinking about killing. But it really seems like he had a lot of issues wrapped up in the idea of killing Dee Dee. And I know that's stuff that's been reported on before, but just seeing all this stuff definitely drives that point home, in my opinion. What you thinking?
Well, I find it interesting that she was comparing him to Charles Manson.
No,
and then,
yeah, definitely.
And then she brought up Jeffrey Dahmer in the interrogation.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
She couldn't even pronounce it correctly. Do you think it was because she was doing the research and it wasn't her mom telling her about it? Because obviously Dee Dee would have said.
Telling her about the serial killer?
Yeah. Well, she said that Dee Dee said that Nick was like a Jeffrey Dahmer type person.
Okay.
Do you think Dee Dee would have said Nick was a Jeffrey Dahmer type person? Do you think that Gypsy was doing research and in her head, that's how she thought it was supposed to be said? Somebody brought up that.
Oh, I would say, I don't know what you're talking about in that regard. I haven't seen that.
No, I'm just saying, in general.
I'm just saying, I don't know what you're talking about, but hearing what you're saying, if that is true, I could definitely see that, where she might just not have known how to pronounce his name, and she said it.
But I'm just thinking that she was doing research on serial killers. And I have always thought that the messages that Hello Starlight has put out there between Nick and Gypsy, I always felt serial killer vibes. And I got the serial killer vibes like really, really strong. And that's just something that I've never been able to get out of my head.
Yeah.
I feel like.
From Gypsy, you said?
From both of them, but I feel like it was pushed more by her and the things that they were talking
So
about.
you think that Nick gives off serial killer vibes?
I feel like the two of them combined, here's what it felt like. It felt like it was this woman who was interested in serial killers and wanted to become a serial killer. And so she had this unwitting partner who didn't really know a whole lot about it, but was grooming him basically to become something like that. That's my opinion.
Allegedly, for all intents and
Yes.
purposes, what does Fancy say? The views of the host do not reflect the views of the network. We're on an
Well, we
actual
say that
network.
we say that too.
No. Anyway, I'm
but
just trying to be
yes.
funny. I'm
Yeah,
throwing
I
in a
know.
dig.
I
I'm
know.
throwing in a dig.
Okay, Kung Fu Panda says even with Nick's condition, it took her 2 years to manipulate him into doing this. In my opinion, this is a power struggle to be alpha for him and intense manipulation by her to make him desperate. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I could also definitely see. How do I say this in a way, especially with my mom sitting right next to me? No, I'm gonna hold that thought, and I might come back to it later.
Okay.
I've already traumatized you enough with the things I've told you while I've been drunk or said
Oh,
silly
yeah,
things.
Okay, so did you read this part?
Okay.
Oh, did you read? Yeah, you read the
I
Charles
read
Manson.
I read the Manson thing.
Okay.
Okay. Forgotten sexual instructions from your master, Victor. Nicholas is talking in a deeper voice and told Gypsy and her other character, Demona, that they had something expensive they needed to wear when they made their video to him. He said they needed to do this so they would not disappoint him and they would get more videos from him back. He said Demona was built to handle some very sexual things. He wanted Gypsy to wear white and red lingerie. He wanted Demona. Oh, is it Demoa? Oh, Demona. They just didn't have the same. Okay. Demona to wear red and black lingerie because they were vampire colors. He said him, Victor, and Nicholas would be pleased. He said that he would be able to dominate her to the point that she would be scared and it would be easy. He told her sex with her master would be pleasure and pain.
Now, remember, this is also the time where Gypsy is loving Twilight, reading and watching Twilight.
So, okay, I think the thought that I had was that you can be, I have seen and potentially experienced the idea of being a submissive person, but also liking the idea of having a little power over the other person a little bit and making them think that they have power over you when they don't really have the power over you in very different ways. I want to make that very clear. I'm not really into Gypsy on this. But I just want to make, but I can understand.
I feel like that's what's going on.
Yeah, the idea of, oh, you think you really have all this power over me? Oh, well, you really don't know this and this and that. So, I mean, I've seen situations similar. I've been in similar situations, but not, that makes me sound horrible. Anyway, it's not like that.
Okay.
From the hurt inside, Nicholas talked about before Gypsy came into his life, he was afraid he would never find true love. He talked about how he was going to go to a BDSM website and order a chained up slave. Oh, fuck. Okay. Fuck. Okay. He said he was getting hopeless and trying to find true love until she came into his life. He said the Lord brought her into his life before he got to that point. Okay, yeah.
How juxtaposed is that?
Yeah, no, okay. Again, not making any claims. I don't really know. We all can just interpret things. We're all just interpreting things. None of us were there.
Yeah.
But
we're just reading it.
I don't know.
We didn't see the video. There could have been a lot of nuance. Who knows? But yes.
Also, to anyone who hasn't seen or hasn't heard my thoughts on this before, I don't know for 100% fact how I feel about the whole like justice for Nick thing or justice for DeeDee thing. I do think that he needs to have his name cleared a little bit, but I also don't know if he's fit to re-enter society or anything like that. You know, I don't know. I have complicated feelings on it. And again, I'm not a mental health professional, so my opinions are not coming from any place other than my own opinion. Okay, Gypsy's special B-Day video 2. Nicholas is telling Gypsy happy birthday in this video. Then around 4 minutes, 31 seconds in the video, he closes his eyes and Master Victor is now the one talking. Victor told her happy birthday and told her to give him feedback on the video. Nicholas then started talking in his normal voice and also as Victor, as if they were both talking to her. Nothing pertaining to homicide. Nothing pertaining to homicide. Important video, winky face. Nicholas introduces himself to Gypsy as her master Victor. He talked about how she was a reliable slave to him and thanked her for her loyalty. Victor then said he was now going to let Nicholas talk to her about something important. He said she should not expect presents from him and that all that should matter is time to her. He continued to talk about her being spoiled with his time and not gifts. He said he felt pressured to talk to her because she did not respond to his video about time and presents. Yeah, that wouldn't cut it for me. Okay. Letter confirmation and other topics by your king, Nick. Nicholas told Gypsy he had another alter personality who he learned over the weekend was called Chenier. Does anyone know how to pronounce that? Chenier? Chenier was due to come out anytime. Someone in the chat, if you know how to pronounce that better. Master Victor's message too. Nicholas is talking as Victor. He talked about how there are different kinds of vampires in the world. He talked about how the sun gave some vampires their power, and these vampires did not need blood. He said there was human-type vampires who were friendly towards others. There was a vampire who got their power from the moon, and they don't need to hunt, but they don't like the sun. He said his breed does not drink blood, they eat regular food, and they hate all other vampires. Okay. Master's bonus video with Nick at ending. Nicholas is talking as Victor, and he told Gypsy that she will give a hex spell to someone as he commands. He is very firm and authoritative about this. He told her she will do what he said. He talked about how he could break her spell and was not joking around about it. He gives her several firm warnings, telling her she will do what he said. He talked about if she did not go with him, if she did not do what oh my goodness. I'm literally able to touch the screen. He said he would make her put a hex spell on a female so he could rape her and even have a gangbang with this female. He said this does not mean he would kill her, but he would break her spirit forever. He said if he observed someone as sexual, she would need to put a hex spell on this female so he could rape her. During the duration of the video, he continued to command her to do whatever he told her to do. So,
yeah,
we're not monetized, so I didn't really stress too much about saying that word. But, yeah, I don't know. That
it's disturbing.
It's disturbing. And while I do think that she manipulated him in a lot of ways, I don't think that that's something that someone that is a great guy is probably going to be saying.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Master's white collar response. Nicholas is talking as Victor in this video. He said Gypsy would earn her white collar when they are in person. He mainly reprimands her in this video for not saying goodnight the proper way. He also talked about what she needed to expect sexually when they are together. Me expressing myself after a nap on a Tuesday night. Man, sorry, this isn't... I shouldn't be making jokes, but this reminds me of Fall Out Boy titles. They're always like super long and sorry. Anyway, me singing Distant Melody, full video, nothing pertaining to the homicide. Must listen to message from your king, Nick. Nicholas talked about how the Dark One was going to be more than likely to come out sometime during the evening. He said he knew this because of the songs in his head. My birthday video, my dear special folder, my February update, my marriage video, my reflection on yesterday's hard day, and me being your master and daddy dom. All not pertaining to the homicide. Also not pertaining to the homicide is my video about the changes that you must be told that notice. Okay, a bunch of other stuff that's not pertaining to the homicide. I probably don't need to read all of that. Shanir's introduction to Demona and Gypsy. The screen is dark, and Nicholas is talking with a different voice, portraying to be whom he called Shanir. Nicholas is very hard to understand in this video because of the way he talked. He called Gypsy by name, and then he called out to Demona as well. He called out about how he could see everything behind the scenes. He knows everything that goes on. He told Gypsy she had better obey him or he would hurt her, and if she is messed up, he would make her life a living hell. He said he had no heart and he had no care in the world. He told her she would do whatever he told her to do when they were together in person. Shanir's next message to show Damona and Gypsy. The screen is dark and Nicholas is talking with a different voice, portraying to be who he called Shanir. He said he would not reveal his identity to her, even though she requested him to. He most likely talked about how he could make her sad or happy, and she needed to listen to him and obey him. He told Gypsy she was playing with fire, and she thought Damona would help her get out if the situation was wrong. He addressed Damona as being his partner in crime, but he did not elaborate on this. He talked about being able to sense things from other people's souls and seeing through their souls. He said he knows her master, Victor, has something planned for them. He said they needed to obey him, and they had no other choice but to obey him. He said he only had one soulmate, and this was his sister, and he hoped this could be one big love affair. He said, wait, hold up, what?
His sister. I have no idea
Hold
what he's
up.
talking about there.
Let me reread that. I think I zoned out. He said he knows her master Victor has something planned for them. They needed to obey him, and they had no other choice but to obey him. He said he had one soulmate, and this was his sister, and he hoped there could be one big love affair. Oh, fuck. Okay. He said if she could hurt other people and do evil for him, this would prove her love to him and show they are interested in him. He said he would prefer to rape her versus having normal sexual intercourse with her. He said if she was willing to help him kill someone and let him rape her, he would not hurt her. I don't know. This is worse than I thought it was.
Yeah, as we're getting into it, I'm thinking, oh dang.
I've never read.
You know what? I think I
stuff.
may just release the rest of this stuff to somebody else, and they can go over it, because I'm feeling really funky about it.
Yeah.
And the more I
don't know.
hear, the more it comes out of my daughter's mouth.
Yeah. Sorry. No, this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think Gypsy's full of shit, no matter what this is. But that's like, there was supposed to be a rally for Nick
Mhm.
in the Capitol, and again, that's not too far from where we're at. So we were planning on going there, but
Mhm.
I wasn't too set on the idea of actually protesting, more so just going there to observe
And report.
and report. And again,
And that's what we've decided we're going to do through all these things
to a
now.
lot of people that are tuning in that don't know anything about us, we do have a lot of passion for prison reform.
Mhm.
I'm currently reading a book about it right now. I need to finish reading the book, but no matter who he is, I believe that he deserves to be protected in prison, and that he deserves to have his right in prison.
Mhm.
In my personal opinion, knowing again less about the case than a lot of the people that are watching this, but reading these messages and knowing a couple things, I think it's probably where he deserves to be.
Mhm.
In my unprofessional opinion, I feel kind of
Probably.
icky reading these.
I
though.
do too.
Especially, I don't know.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda says if GRB was actually afraid of him, she wouldn't have planned everything and
Yeah.
paid for him to get there. Yeah,
No, I still think that she's the greater evil in this
Mhm.
story.
I do too.
My personal opinion, allegedly, don't come for me, but
Mhm.
a normal person, so just someone with autism, doesn't just think that.
Yeah.
Even more, I don't know the proper terminology, quote unquote, more severe or more life-changing forms of autism. That's not that.
Mhm.
I don't know what external factors happened in his life to make him the way that he was, but clearly there's some issues there.
But-
And
But we also don't have all the facts, and we don't know
No.
how this started. And it could very well be that Gypsy started all this and he went running with it. To-
even if she started
degree.
it, I don't have to say that rape's wrong.
Oh, no.
but-
I
know
totally
you're not
agree.
arguing with me, but I don't know.
Well, when you're not firing on all cylinders, and you are presented with a situation that makes you feel important, you kind of jump feet first, and you don't really think about things.
I don't know. I just feel bad for his sister for reading that out. I don't know if
I
that was
don't even know if he
something-
has a sister.
Does he have a sister?
I don't know. I know he
Someone
has
in
a
the chat,
brother.
Does he have a sister?
I know he has a
I
brother.
don't know. Or maybe he has someone that is close to him, kind of like a sister, kind of how like some of my I grew up with my cousins. They lived with us for a while. I don't know.
What I'm thinking is that maybe this is just the character of Victor has a sister. I don't know.
But then they were also talking about
Yeah, I
taking
know.
the virginity of their baby.
I know.
So
And
I don't know. I'm making any claims towards Gypsy or her current situation, but all I hope to God is that she's right and that it was just Nick that was perpetuating the shit and not her.
yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. I hope that that's the one thing that you're not lying about.
Mhm.
Pray to God. So
Me too.
I don't know.
Me too. And I'm, I don't really talk about Gypsy a whole lot on here because I don't want this channel to be about Gypsy and Nick. This is for my cognitive therapy. This is for me to start thinking again and researching again. And this has definitely put it out there to where I'm, having to think and having to research and all of that. So that's basically what I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm not really a content creator or anything like that. I just I'm here to try to make the world a better place, understand my life and the people in my life, how to help them and how to make the world a better place. And so that's why I have this show, this podcast, and Alora helps me, and
Sometimes.
yeah, well, you help me just being on here, giving me confidence to, not be alone and everything. And so I'm very thankful for that. But I think we're just going to call it at that tonight because I'm actually I feel so heavy right now.
Yeah, I didn't know what was all in this.
Yeah, I tried to tell you and you didn't come down and read it all. So I was
Sorry,
just
I was looking
like,
at some stuff.
I didn't know how to present it. I didn't know the way to do it because I want to be respectful of Nick. I want to be respectful of Gypsy, even though, Gypsy is a turd. And from what I'm seeing, Nick may have been a turd too. I don't know.
That's one way to put it.
But, I feel icky. And so I'm going to just pass the rest of this off to somebody else and they can present it. So with that being said, I'm going to play a song to lead us out. This is actually going to be Stephen Covell, Her Cold Hands. I really like the video and I like the music. So please just have a good week. Do something good to help somebody else.
Feels like the world's ending right now, to be honest.
I feel so drained and down right now after going through that. And
No,
we haven't even
generally
gone
speaking.
through. We're on page 17 of 27. So we
Yeah.
hope you have a blessed week.
I flirt with death. I send her flowers and chocolates in the hopes that she'll notice and send her attention my way. But there she flirts back, gives me the smile that I wanted, takes my hand and holds it because they're always so cold. Maybe oh yes, I am a fool. driving around after my shift, down to the shore where it's quiet, trying to just be alone. There snuggles up, wraps herself around my neck. She lets go, I catch my breath, and we both stare up at the sky. 'Cause underneath the stars we both feel small. She said, let's go home. I said, that's a good call. And I fight again. She breaks the glass on the counter, storms out through the shower, slamming the door as she goes. Stops returning my calls. Well, I got a note pinned in my door. So baby, I'm gone and I'm sorry. Maybe the timing was wrong. Well, I won't lie, I still dream about her, I do. One day she'll be back. Girls like that always choose. When I smell the shirt that she left in my bedroom, the sweet sour smoke of a perfume, I know that I should, but I can't throw it out. 'Cause I won't lie, I still dream about her, I do. One day she'll come back. Girls like that always do.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.